What's up, world? This is the Well You're Not Wrong podcast, episode 14. I am your handsome host, Ty Won, my homegirl.
And I am your gorgeous co-host, Avi J.
Yes. We bumping ourselves up this morning. Man, feeling good, living good. There's a lot going on this week. A lot of music. Albums dropping.
Yeah, some of them, sometimes there'll be singles dropping too. We had an album drop, we had a single drop. I wonder if we have some more new music coming up for the summer that's going to be dropping.
Oh, yeah, we got tons of music. I mean, Chris Brown is coming Friday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chris Brown is coming. Still rocking the Drake that dropped last week. Guess we could do a deeper dive on that.
Yeah, so I understand that before you were talking about how, at first it wasn't what you expected and you said that you needed to sit on it for a minute.
Still not what I was expecting, but yeah.
But at the same time, just thinking about Drake's album, I think it just shows that, when it comes to music, he's not just a hip-hop, he's not just a rapper. He's not just a singer, he really is passionate about all types of music. For someone like Drake from Toronto to make an album that incorporates a lot of house music that's rooted in Chicago, I think that shows how vast his scope is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's overseas and stuff, partying and, touring over there. He messed with a lot of women from overseas. I would imagine the clubs and stuff that he goes, to, and places that he travels to. He's hearing all types of music, He just is incorporating that, He's Drake's from Toronto. They have a big Afrobeat scene there. A lot of Jamaican people live there. People from all different walks of life. Like, you even just kind of see Drake's friend circle. Like, he has friends from all different types of backgrounds, religions, and so I would imagine that he got exposed to different types of music and stuff throughout his life and throughout his career. And he just wanted to do something different. One of the critiques Drake always gets is say like, oh, he just makes the same type of album over and over again. He never does anything different. This is like a hard left, I feel like, to do a whole like house Afrobeats type album. It's definitely not my favorite Drake album. I definitely feel like this is a joint that he probably could have made a mixtape. Like, I know he considers I get it. He considers If You're Reading This and More Life to be like mixtapes, a Dark Lane demo. I feel like If You're Reading This, I consider that an album in his discography. Similar with More Life, but definitely If You're Reading This even more than More Life. But a lot of these songs sound like the songs that will be on More Life and stuff from that era. I definitely will say that just the overall rollout, by it being a surprise, like it gave me an If You're Reading This, It's Too Late type of vibe. That's what I was expecting, because like that was the last project that he dropped without any announcement or anything. He just uploaded up to iTunes and, sent the internet in a frenzy. So I thought that's why he was going in that lane. But that's not the case. But it is some joints on here that have grown on me. There's some joints on here I really like. Text Go Green.
Yeah.
It's dope. Currents. A Keeper, I feel like that's a toxic anthem, like saying, I need a new muse, so why would I keep you around? Sticky, he's kind of rapping on that. It's got a bounce to it. Sticky actually is going to be a service to radio, like now. Like, he chose that as the single. I personally think he probably should have went with A Keeper for the first single, but Sticky is cool. Not mad at that one.
So do you like the one with 21 Savage?
Of course. Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. Downhill. I like Down. So I'm going to say Currents, Text Go Green, A Keeper, Downhill, and Jimmy Cooks are my top joints on that. But overall, it's a solid project. But yeah, it's definitely not my favorite Drake album. Somebody I seen like a meme. It said unpopular opinion or whatever. This is Drake's best album. I'm like, nah, that's definitely not the case. And what would you say is Drake's best album?
Oh, now that's a good one, because I know everybody likes to say Take Care is Drake's best album. And even though that was a great piece of work, there's a part I really like Thank Me Later. And the only reason that I would say Thank Me Later is because you can, like, okay, I've been a fan of Drake since he was dropping those mixtapes. You remember back when we had Room for Improvement,
right.
Back when we had Comeback Season, Heartbreak, I knew that Drake.
Okay.
That was the Drake I was accustomed to. And then on top of that, I remember watching him in Degrassi. You remember that show, Degrassi?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him from
Where
Degrassi.
he was Jimmy. There was a time he was
right. I know that's how he got his start, and that's how he kind of got into entertainment. But I knew Drake from his music. Like I saw like one episode of Degrassi with my cousin. I have an older cousin that I would go to her house a lot and stuff when I was younger. Like her and a couple of my other cousins and her friends, they were watching it, but I didn't pay it no mind. I didn't know Drake was on there.
Even back in 2009, do you remember back in like 2008? No, it was 2009. Like before Drake, I think what was it? Thank Me Later was released in 2010, but in 2009, I remember that Drake was on a lot of singles with Lil Wayne. You remember that song? I wish I could. Every girl in the world.
Right. That was Drake, one of his first songs I discovered Drake on.
Yeah. And the thing is like I remember reading up on Drake when I used to read like Vibe and The Source. He was talking about how like some of his biggest influences were Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Andre 3000, how he'd want to work with these people. Well, of course he worked with Wayne. So just seeing all of the history of Drake and seeing him become who he was, you can hear that sense of accomplishment in his Thank Me Later album. Like when you hear Show Me a Good Time, when you hear Karaoke, you're able to really hear all of the aspects that accompany the artist that Drake has finally become when you hear that first published album.
That album is arguably
that's why I say it's one of his greatest, and why I consider it my favorite and one of his greatest.
I can say that's arguably got the most hits on the album. It had a lot of big radio hits on that album with like Up All Night, Show Me a Good Time.
Kanye's track that he produced,
Find Your Love,
right.
Which was a leftover from 808s and Heartbreak. Fancy,
Swiss Beats,
Miss Me, Over, of course, was the lead single. You got what's the other joint I'm trying to think of right now? Unforgettable. All of those songs were like 2010, like those songs dominated radio, and usually most of his albums do, but that had a lot of like big singles on it. And he talked about like how he felt like, you know, he had to collaborate with a lot of artists like T.I.'s on there, Wayne. You know,
what about Nicki? I know he featured on Nicki's album, Moment for Life.
Nicki, Jeezy, Jay-Z. He had to show like, he felt like with that album he had to show that he could rap with these people that are viewed as like the top rappers at that particular time. But my personal favorite Drake album is Nothing Was the Same. I don't see him.
Really?
Yeah. I definitely is his best album in my opinion, top to bottom, no skips. I feel like the sound overall is very influential. I feel like we got, you know, that kind of helped propel Party Next Door, and a lot of the like sing song rap like that, you know, kind of helped shape the sound for that new class of rappers that make music like that to come. You know, kind of fell off of the tree of this album. And it's just, I feel like he should have won Best Rap Album at the Grammys for this album. Honestly, this is my favorite Drake album. A lot of big records on here. I feel like he kind of changed the game with Started From the Bottom. I actually hated Started From the Bottom the first time I heard it. I was just like,
that song was everywhere.
But it was like, you know, other like lead singles, like Headlines and Over and stuff, it's punchlines in there and stuff. I feel like it's really no standout line besides I wear every single chain even when I'm in the house. Like it's no really popping punchline in there, but that's just an anthem. That's just a catchy, hard drum anthem, and like that. A lot of the songs and the music that came after that, like it started with him. I feel like experimenting with that and switching it up some, more anthemic, catchy, kind of repetitive style rap, not so much of the long hooks and, you know, jazzy, singy, songy type songs like before. So.
You know what, Ty? You know what? If you really, I know you're really big on paying attention to Drake's work, and haven't you noticed that with Afro beats, you know, he used to put a couple of songs with some Afro beats ever since the beginning until he just really got deeper into it. Right. I honestly think, even though Honeslty Nevermind, I enjoyed it. I understand it wasn't your favorite, but I think it would have been nice. I enjoyed it too, but it was. I think it would have been a really good idea if Drake would have just released maybe a couple singles of it, just to see how his audience like operates after hearing this. You know. Like, you know, he knows that his audience loves it when he does some Afro beats, when he does some sing-song rap, when he does slow rap, when he does all types of stuff. So since he was bringing out something new, I think if he would have released maybe a few singles before the whole entire just album just to see the reactions, to see like if it's something that's resonant with his audience. Right. I think that would have been a good idea, you know. If you
But that's like the traditional album rollout. I feel like that falls in the line of him doing something different, just putting the album out. Like it's hard to, you never know what fans are gonna like. So sometimes you can pick a single based on like what your friends and stuff are listening to the most when you're making an album. What the artist feels is the song they want to go with, or maybe it's the best song, let's drop it as a single. You never know. A lot of times those songs don't end up being the biggest songs off of the album. You know, it could be fans usually pick whatever the biggest song is going to be. It's not always the single that you
so it's not like how it was back when we had 106 in Park and we did our top 10s.
Yeah, well that was a little bit different with like the videos and stuff. But yeah, back in those days, it's just different now. Like you just never know what people are gonna like. So I feel like it's nothing. I feel like it's a good switch up to just go ahead and put a project out. I saw 21 Savage say something about you know, him and Drake or Shaq and Kobe. I guess we do today collabs. I mean, yeah. Or I was like, I don't know about
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about all that. Like,
so what type of duo would you say they're like? I would say they're more like a Batman and Robin or something.
They're a cool duo. I mean, they make some cool songs together. But I mean, I feel like Drake and Wayne would be the Shaq and Kobe, not 21 and Drake. But they
Wayne would be Kobe. And Wayne would be the Kobe.
Think so?
Yeah, they both started young.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne is like the Kobe of the rap game, but I mean,
more than Kanye West was.
But I would just say because Wayne is the older between Drake and.
They both started when they were really young.
Between Drake and Wayne.
You both got to see them grow into their adulthood. You got to see both of them advance.
Right.
They both always were consistent with their greatness, always getting better and better. So, yeah, I would say Wayne is more of the Kobe of rap than anyone else would be. Yeah.
But I was just, just saying like between them two. I get what you're saying, but yeah. I mean, Wayne has paid tribute to Kobe a lot throughout his career. I mean, he dropped songs called Kobe Bryant and, you know, did a revamped version in 2020 when Kobe passed away and paid tribute to him. So I can see that. Okay, but yeah, solid album. I like it. A lot of the songs are growing on me. A lot of people on social media even saying like that trashed it at first and saying the songs are growing on them. You know, I personally could have dealt with. I could have went without a new Drake album right now. I'm still riding off Certified Lover Boy. That was enough to hold me over. I wasn't like super thirsty for new Drake music right now, but it's cool. It's gonna be something to vibe out to for the summer, and something different. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like we'll hear it in Chicago a lot, honestly, especially at certain like house parties, Pier 31, Promontory. Yeah.
Speaking of Pier 31, they just pulled a body out of 31st Street Beach the other night. I don't know what's all these bodies popping up in Lake Michigan, man. Something going on.
Something is going on. Like the murder and all of the danger that goes on in Chicago. It is so sad. It's
it's just like 2 days ago. They just pulled a body about it.
Literally. But this isn't the first body, which is sad, which is just terrible. You know, like all of the violence that goes on in Chicago. I don't know how a stop could be put to it or a halt could be put to it. I'm honestly starting to think it might even go beyond what the local government or what a mayor or alderman or a senator could do. Because I mean, you may be able to make laws, but if you can't control people. But one thing I would say that I think that would cease a lot of these a lot of murders and stuff like this happening is if all of those underserved communities in the South and West Sides, if they were provided with better education, if they were provided with more activities for children and youth, so that they'll have something to put their mind to, so that they will be able to discover what are things that they enjoy doing, have hobbies, instead of just being out on the block kicking it all day. You know what I'm saying? And also, the education out there is, these schools aren't doing the students justice half the time.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like that's kind of like the cliche answer what everybody wants to say. I think it starts with parenting. It starts from the home. Me personally, I was raised a certain way. I'm not about to get out here and embarrass my mother and father. Like, it's certain things that I've learned from them that they just didn't even have to say. I'm around them, been in the house with them my whole life. I know what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. I know what I can go out here and do and represent them the proper way. And if I go out here and do certain other things, it will be an embarrassment to them. I'm not going to embarrass my parents. My teachers, I ain't never have to call home, that I was a behavioral problem in class or acting up. Like, I feel like it starts from the home. Like, I'm not going to just go pick up a gun and just go shoot and kill somebody because I'm mad or they stepped on my shoe or,
Are your parents educated?
Yeah, they are educated. Yeah, my mother is college educated. But both are. But my father has a college experience, but my mother is college.
Were they both able to help you have life experiences in your childhood and your teenage years that other people probably weren't able to receive, like traveling or being able to attend certain events, going out to certain restaurants?
Yeah, that's true. But I know people that gang bang and that's heavy in the streets and they had good parents. So that's not always the thing.
But I thought you said it started at the home.
Yeah, that does. That's a big thing. But like, a lot of people that's got that type of gangster mentality, like you could put a Boys and Girls Club, you could put a recording studio in their neighborhood. You could put jobs over there. They're not about to go work at Walmart or, or Target or Whole Foods or whatever, making $12 an hour, $13 an hour, where they can just go on the block and make $500 a day or $1,000 a day selling drugs. That's a lot of their mentality. They're like, why would I go work minimum wage when I can hustle and do this and that? Right?
But if it all starts at home and, a lot of people that have these experiences, wouldn't they be able to do something about it then? Wouldn't the parents have more of an influence? That goes on that nature versus nurture type of thing. I honestly think both of it kind of impacts how people grow up,
Yeah, I mean...
Because nurturing, what you learn from your parents, but at the same time, when it comes to nurturing, everything that you receive from your parents that started at home, it's from, like, all of the things they collected within their lives. Like, I learned a lot about emotional intelligence and mental health by literally having to educate myself on it by reading about it, going to certain events that involve mental health, going into therapy my own self so that I'd be able to, when I do have children in the future, so I can be able to pass all of this down. So,
right.
But, I had to be able to take that upon myself to do that. So
yeah, I mean, you just chose to make certain decisions and do certain things. Like a lot of people, that's just their mentality. Like, I mean, even now, like we're in a great resignation. Like a lot of people got all these PPP loans, or they just doing credit card scams or whatever. They not trying to work no job. So I'm saying, like, some people you will get somebody like, oh, it's a new business in the neighborhood. It's a new, this Walgreens just opened up, or this community center. Let me go up here and work a job or get involved or whatever. Some people will do that, but most people that's in the hood with a get rich quick mentality, gangster mentality.
You know what a lot of people doing?
They not gonna work no regular job.
A lot of people still on unemployment, right? They were able to get it extended. There are people that
I thought they ended unemployment.
No, they are able to get extensions, except it's less. They're not giving out all of the. It's not going to be just like how it was before with the additional $600 and random lump sums.
Right.
It's like $300 less, and on top of that, like. Somebody who I know told me about people who are still on unemployment, and although it's less, they're just taking up side gigs that they just wouldn't have to be taxed for.
I give you another perfect example. That's a good thing too. The unemployment, I get that aspect. But even going back to like the kids and like education and everything, like you see all these videos that's like they making TikToks, or you might see like a World Star video, Instagram video, and little kids are cursing their teacher out, hitting their teacher, spitting on their teacher, throwing something at their teacher. Some teachers have like literally snapped and actually went on, full blown fight mode with a student, substitutes or whatever. They're getting picked on. The students are picking on the teachers.
Wow.
Like, I never thought to do anything like that. Like even people like my friends or whatever, like I'm not gonna do that. Like I know my father come to the school and go upside my head. Like I'm not gonna embarrass my parents like that. But that's just my mentality. That's why I say like, it's all in what you're taught. Like I know a lot of people, they kind of raising themselves, they parents might be, they parents be in the streets doing whatever. They got to get up and get themselves ready to school. They don't have nobody checking and making sure they do their homework. They taking them to after school programs. Making sure they eat at night. Making sure they tucked in or whatever, getting the proper rest. They raise. There's a lot of kids out here raising themselves. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's. I get what you're saying, but I feel like a lot of it does start from good parenting. So I mean
yeah, because good parenting is definitely the foundation of anybody. Any child, when you come into this earth, of course your parents are the first people who teach you about what life is supposed to be and teach you about your self-worth, your self-respect, how to operate and how to move. And that's why it's so sad that some parents, they didn't have the access to all the resources we have today. Right. Especially parents that were born in, let's say, I don't remember what year was it when you become a boomer. I want to say in the 50s.
Right, like 50s, early 60s.
50s, early 60s. Yeah, they weren't able to have access to information just off of their phone, or being able to log into the internet and just being able to Google how to be a better parent, understanding my child's mental state. You know, we're able to do all these things now, but back then they didn't. So, yeah, it's a journey, I guess.
Yeah, what you think of that new, switching back to some music, what you think of the new Beyonce single?
Love it. Love it.
What's it called again? I don't even remember.
Break My Soul.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could sing like her. You can't break my soul. It was a good song. You know, it was a lot of energy like Beyonce said it would be. And it's a song that I'm ready to hear when I'm on a yacht or on a boat and I have the wind like blowing my hair back and I feel the sun on my skin and I got me a nice drink and I'm with my homies. Yeah, it's a real feel good song. And you know, I love how Beyonce went into house music, you know, and house music, like even with Drake having a lot of house music on his album. House music is something that actually started in Chicago.
That's true.
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, a lot of Chicago DJs and producers, you know, they mixed a lot of electric beats along with jazz beats, you know, and got real creative, and it ended up becoming that house Chicago music. And that house music, it ended up being such so impactful on the music industry that singers such as Madonna, they incorporated into a lot of their music. Like one of Madonna's most renowned songs is her song Vogue. And of course, with it being June, Pride Month, she was a big influence on the LGBTQ community. So house music is something that influenced, that was created by Chicago black culture, that influenced the LGBTQ community, that influenced also people that are overseas. A lot of people in London, a lot of musicians in London, the UK, they incorporate a lot of house music into a lot of what they have, like dubstep. So yeah, like house music, it's and then there's even like house dance as well. Like 3 forms of house dance are jacking, footwork, and lofting. And I had no idea
about
what
jacking and footwork is. I never heard of lofting. What is lofting?
Yeah, I'd have to even look more into like I'd have to Google somebody or YouTube somebody doing a lofting dance. But I'm pretty sure we're all a little familiar with the footwork. But yeah. But yeah, you know, Chicago music, it's just amazing how coming from this city, we're like the trendsetters of so many things that influence the entire industry, such as drill music, you know.
Speaking of drill, one of the forefathers of drill and hottest Chicago artist right now, in my opinion, just announced a deluxe album. It's supposed to be dropping tomorrow, I believe. 7220 Dirk. It's adding 13 new songs. How y'all feel about that?
I feel like it's about time, because I remember he released 3 songs, and that was back in March, I want to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, he put the whole album out like a couple months ago, you know.
Yeah, so when it comes to Lil Durk, you know, I'm a big fan. I think he's great with what he does. I think he's a great influence on Chicago rap music and even the Chicago culture. So it's great that it's just great having Lil Durk out here, you know, being able to hear his voice on the music, on the radio, and just have him out in Chicago.
Yeah, I saw like he said he was back recording some music in Chicago. He said it's giving him like 2012 vibes. I think this. I'm a def check it out. I'm unpopular opinion. I'm not really that big on these deluxe, especially like a 13 songs. Like I'm like, you could just maybe wait a little bit and wait a little bit longer or whatever. Just drop a whole new album, like
or wait 6 months and make it a mixtape or something.
Yeah, just do a whole new project. Like I get it, like, you know, finding the loophole in the streaming algorithm and getting people to keep streaming that album. Let's go add some more songs, give people another reason to listen to it again. I know it's, you know, it's a business involved, you know, the labels and stuff. It's a reason why they do it, because everybody does deluxe. I mean, Lil Baby's done deluxe album. Wayne did a Carter 5 deluxe like 2 years after the Carter 5 came out, added 10 new songs. I felt like he could have made that a whole new album. And a lot of those 10 new songs on that Wayne album, like, they're really, really dope. Like, I'm like, bro, you could have just made a whole new album. But Lil Uzi Vert did a deluxe album with his last project. The deluxe is the thing. Like, you know, Chris Brown already announced his deluxe. Like, the regular version is like 23 songs or 24 songs or something like that of the Breezy album, and then the deluxe is gonna have like 33. It's just like, damn, is every Chris Brown album gonna be 40 songs now? 20?
Yeah.
Like I was hoping that this album, like, he said he wanted to make the Breezy album close to like his first album, which is cool and kind of makes sense. Like his first album's named Chris Brown. This one is Breezy. So it's like, but I feel like he could have did like a good 15, maybe even anywhere from 14 to 17 songs. But 23 songs is a lot, let alone 33 with the deluxe. But I guess that's just where we at with it now with the streaming stuff. So.
Yeah, I look forward to Chris Brown's new album, especially if it's going to be like his first album. You know, because like his first album, it was 2006. 2005, 2006.
Yeah, it came out in 05, November 2005, I remember.
Yeah, okay. 05, I was 12 years old. So it was kind of like, it was the song that all the young girls, when we were, teenagers and preteens, something that we were able to listen to and vibe to. Right. We were able to have a young artist actually, make songs to sing to us. So it felt great being able to have like him out, because especially since B2K, they ended up breaking up. So Chris Brown definitely filled that void of having a black male artist being able to, carry that weight and carry that torch of just, being able to sing to the masses. So for his new album, I really look forward to it. I really look forward to hearing whatever song he made with Jack Harlow.
Did you check out that the Warm Embrace video?
I did, and Normani was beautiful.
Yeah, it was dope, right?
Yeah.
And Normani is a really, really dope artist. I got to see her live. She opened up for Ariana Grande a couple years ago. And I was working security for that show, and I was like, man, she's really talented. Like, choreography, vocally,
dancing,
like, she got her dancing. And I feel like he really made a good statement with that, because his last album, he caught some flack. Chris Brown caught some flack on the song I Need a Stack, when he said, I only want to mess with the black girls with the nice hair.
So what
I feel like people was giving him like
nice hair?
Yeah, but I just feel like people was just trying to,
find something wrong.
No, it's not just that. It's always this thing about like brown skinned girls don't get the lead role in music videos. You don't get them on TV or whatever. And I just feel like he made a good statement by having, a beautiful brown skinned lady, playing the lead role in his video.
Oh yeah. The thing is like when he says nice hair, like he doesn't specify. Like who's to say he wasn't saying like natural hair wasn't nice hair?
Yeah.
I kind of think that in a way, I do think colorism is definitely real. Colorism is definitely real in not just the black community, but in the world we live in. But at the same time, like I do think people are allowed to have preferences. Like there's a lot of women who preference taller men, stronger men.
Of course.
A lot of times we hear people, and this is just something I've noticed. If somebody was to say that they preference like, oh, I like chocolate men, or oh, I preference brown skinned people, that's okay. But if somebody says they preference lighter people, that's when the colorism.
They're like, oh, you just like, you just being brainwashed. And
I think that when it comes to, and I also think that, although it may affect women, I've kind of noticed, I'm a brown skinned girl, so it doesn't really, I never really let that get to me. I always felt like, if somebody likes me, they like me. If they don't, they don't.
Were you
and that's
teased
cool.
growing up for your complexion? Were you ever teased?
No.
That's good. I mean,
I have gap teeth, so I got teased for that.
Okay, I got bullied for being light skinned. I got all the white boy jokes. So I went to predominantly black grammar school, so I feel like people always act like it's this brown skin hate. I feel like it's just as worse being light skinned. When you're around black people, I'm like, a lot of times we not viewed as being black enough. Like, oh, you white, you got it better, you light skinned.
You know what's funny? Like, this is something I observed, and it's when women talk about preferences and just being in women's world. If you're a black woman, whether you're lighter skin or darker skin, if you say you prefer dark skinned men or brown skinned men, oh, it's cool. Oh, I love chocolate too. But if you're lighter skin or darker skin and say you preference light skinned men, that it can be an issue.
Yeah.
Because like if a light skinned girl says she prefers light skinned men, people will think she has a superiority complex. If a dark skinned girl says she prefers light skinned men, they'll think she has an inferiority complex. However, if both of them say that they love darker skinned men, it almost seems like they're saying that they love their blackness and love their blackness so much that they only date a man who not exudes blackness, because you can be any color and exude your blackness, but a man who has a complexion that's considered, brown skin or darker skin, or that has the look of being someone that's sub-Saharan African or something. That's just something I've noticed, because I used to think to myself, people always talk about people complimenting other people on how they look. I hear black women who are lighter and dark skin get complimented on their complexion just as much as I hear them get disrespected. But when it comes to black men, I only hear chocolate men. brown skinned men. You don't really hear people talking about.
Yeah, you're saying they get the praise.
It seems like it.
Okay.
Like I hear them get a lot of praise, you know. But the thing is, if somebody says, you know, you don't really hear people praising lighter skinned men in the medias or anything too often. And,
yeah, we get a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But, yeah, people just. I think it just stems from like.
Not racism,
like just slavery, and just, you know, they viewed us like as house niggas, basically. Like, you was in the house, you was privileged, you wasn't really out in the field as much, you know. So I just think it's just kind of like genetic, just hate throughout the generations with
generational trauma.
You know, people automatically assume, like, you got a lot of people that assume like that white is better. Like, I don't think that it matters. Like, it's on the inside, your heart, your spirit, and what type of person you are. Like, just because somebody's white or someone's black, it doesn't matter. Like, to me, like, no one's better than anybody. We all the human race. You know what I'm saying? So, but people, you got a lot of people that just assume that white is better. It's just crazy. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know, just being light skinned, like, you automatically. You know, a lot of people think light-skinned people are stuck up, you know.
Oh, they think you got an attitude.
Think you got an attitude, you're better. They think they'll assume that you're soft, or they can try you more because you light-skinned. They think, you know, you may not be about that life, or you may not turn up or take it there because you light-skinned. Like, you know, I've gotten tried just off my skin complexion. Like don't let this light skin fool you. Like,
and you know what's
you can take
funny?
it there if you want to.
And you know what's funny? You know what Charlamagne the God said? Even though he makes his jokes, he even referred to men of your color as waffle-colored Negroes. But that's funny. I ain't gonna. That is funny. But anyway, outside of that, he said that actually he thinks it's the light-skinned guys that he'd be more scared to be in a fight with, because he talked about beige outrage. He said, haven't you noticed that when you look through the history of blackness, it was the lighter-skinned men like Malcolm X that was quick to want to fight somebody? And that he'd actually...
We get tried. That's
and
why.
Then he even said that he'd be more scared to go in a fight against Chris Brown than he would against Akon.
Wow. Yeah, well, Chris Brown could get gangster. I don't get no gangster persona from Akon.
Oh,
so.
Did you ever, I don't know if you view Chris Brown's stories, but he had, on his story, he posted Genuine and said, "Is this my father?"
Oh.
And I'm thinking I don't know if you're familiar with
He studied Genuine a lot. He said that was one of his biggest influences.
Are you familiar with Devontae Swing from Jodeci, the producer?
No.
And singer?
No.
Well, Devontae Swing, he's a member of Jodeci, and he wrote and produced all of their music, as well as for a lot of artists, a lot of black artists that were in the 90s. And he also is the person, and Timbaland and Missy Elliott also were like his assistants or interns at a point in time.
Okay.
There was even a story in one of their documentaries where they said Devontae Swing could be a little abusive, and there was a time where he slapped Timbaland, he slapped Missy Elliott, and he slapped some other people, and that he was very controlling and hard to work with, but he was literally one of the best in the industry. Vibes. He was, and he had a reputation as the R&B Suge Knight.
Okay, that's
and on top of that, he was also known as being a pretty boy. Okay. I'm not sure if you had seen any pictures of him.
Yeah.
I
forgot to slip this one in. Just kind of piggybacking on the light skin versus dark skin. It's just like a funny joke. They said this is when the light skin versus dark skin beef started, and it's when Scar is on Mufasa's paw getting ready to fling him off of Pride Rock. They said that's when the beef started. I've seen memes and jokes about that. It's crazy.
As you can see, he kind of has what some people would say an image.
He was a producer?
Yes, yeah, he was a producer. He was really talented. Okay. Yes. So he produced with other R&B groups like H-Town. All of the, if it was an R&B boy band and they was popping in the 90s, they knew about Devontae Swing. Okay. And he was known as the R&B Suge Knight. And if anything, I think he's has more of a similarity to Chris Brown than Genuine would.
Okay.
You know, and on top of that, he was incredibly talented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe one day we can do a deep dive.
Yeah,
I never
heard of him. You just put me on to something. I know you
That's
really into the 90s R&B.
Yeah, because Timbaland and Missy, they produced a lot of songs that were actually on Jodeci's Diary of a Mad Band.
I can see that.
You know, and that's when you really got to see the greatness of Timbaland and Missy. Devontae Swing helped make them great.
And just speaking about the whole R&B space, I've been watching. Chris Brown's been on a whole press run. He popped up on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Popped up. He's got little clips of his Drink Champs interview that's supposed to be dropping this week. I've seen his interview with Big Boy, and he's been dropping a lot of gems and answering a lot of dope questions. And it's just rare to see him even do interviews. Like, I haven't, I mean, he hasn't really pretty much done any interviews since like the Heartbreak on the Full Moon album rolled out. Like he didn't do any interviews for the Indigo album. You know, certain artists like Chris Brown, Drake, Beyonce, they don't really do interviews like that. So when they do speak, you know, I definitely, you know, check out and see what they got to say. But he was just saying like, you know, I think Gilly the Kid was just kind of bigging him up, saying, you know, he salutes Chris Brown for working hard and sticking to what he believes in and what he wants to do, because he's like, you know, the R&B space and dance space is not popular right now. Everybody just wants to rap, which is true. Like, if you really think about it, like, where the hot new singers at? Even male singers, like, everybody's rapping now.
You can find them, like Masego, Sir, Lucky Day, Giveon. We do have some R&B artists that's out here. Yeah. It's just they're not
Are they dancing though? Are they dancing and stuff too? They got the choreography and all that. Like that. Yeah, was like
but it's like, to be a singer, you have to be able to know how to sing, dance, produce, rap. You have to know how to do everything. But to be a rapper, they don't have all of these qualifications.
Maybe not necessarily. There's not that many rappers that dance, but a lot of them. But not as many dance, but a lot of you know, hip hop artists do produce their own stuff. You know, hip hop is built on authenticity. So writing your own raps, like, you know,
doesn't Party Next Door write the majority of Drake's raps?
Not raps. He produces a lot of Drake's stuff. Party Next Door ain't writing no raps, but he's written some like his R&B stuff. I mean, you got Party Next Door too, but it's just true. Like, it's no real like, and even like the newer singers now, like, male or female, they can sing, but like they not singing like how they was singing in the 90s or early 2000s. Like, who can really like who really got the chops, like, can really blow, like, you know, like a Genuine or R. Kelly or whatever. It's not that type of thing. It's more like auto-tune, more like hip-hop.
And the thing is, the singers such as Lucky Day and Giveon and Masego, and there's
like her is dope, man. That's a female.
You know, just really listing a couple of men. You know, there are some great artists, but the thing is that it's almost as if you have to do a deep dive into YouTube and iTunes and Spotify, and just to be able to find some of these people. And you're hearing about them from word of mouth. You got to go onto Instagram and like look up R&B pages to discover these people. I think it has more so to do with the fact that they're not marketing genuine R&B like how they should.
Or I just think the consumers, like, people just want whatever the hottest new rap song. They not really looking for R&B like that.
I mean, there are people looking for R&B. They just don't know how to find it. You know, like, there are paid. Yeah, I told them how to find it. But the thing is like, I had to do a search on how to find it because it's not as easily accessible as it is to find like a nice rap song.
Blast is dope, but he's kind of like a Party Next Door, like kind of like trap soul. Like, he's not like super R&B, but.
And what happened to Bryson Tiller?
I don't know. Bryson Tiller,
because he was somebody that was doing pretty good on the R&B scene. Yeah. I haven't heard from him.
He's kind of trap soul too. Like, he kind of like a rap singer. Like, he not real ballad like R&B.
Yeah, he's not ballad.
He's actually featured on Chris Brown's album. So
yes, I look forward to that.
Yeah,
that's something I definitely look forward to.
Well, it's kind of the clash of the titans of R&B tonight. You got Omarion versus Mario Verzuz.
Now that's a
Clash
good
of the
one.
early 2000s.
That's really a good one because I've heard so many people say Mario's gonna win.
I think vocally Mario is better, but it's debatable on who's got more hits.
Yeah, like, okay, when it comes to like soulful R&B and that substance of R&B, I would say Mario, just because, you know, he had songs like Braid My Hair. Right. What other songs did he have? Feel Your Heart. What else? Crying Out For Me.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He had a song with Drew Sidora. He had a song with Drew Sidora called For the Love of You, and it is a beautiful song. He sings really well. And something I like with Mario is when he makes songs with women. He sounds so good being that masculine balance.
Mario's got some hits.
But Omarion has B2K.
Yeah.
Omarion has
That's only 2 albums though, but yeah.
2 albums, but they had hits.
Yeah, they did. It's a
They had Girlfriend. Matchup. They had Why I Love You, Gots to Be, Bump Bump Bump. I mean, they got songs produced by R. Kelly, P. Diddy. They got songs with Marcus Houston singing some background vocals. What else they got? They got even a track with Nick Cannon.
So you got Ray J and Bobby V versus Pleasure P and Sammy for the bonus, like, pre-show matchup. That's going to be dope, too.
You said, hold on, how did it go?
Ray J and Bobby V on the same team versus Pleasure P and Sammy. They're opening. That's like the bonus.
Oh, yeah, Ray J and who was it?
Ray J and Bobby.
Yeah, they got it.
You think Ray J and Bobby P versus Pleasure P and Sammy? You think so? Wow.
There's only like 3 songs by Sammy that I like the way you look at me. And that other song he had, I like his song "Take It." We Could Take It Slow. It wasn't a big song.
Right.
And then he had
Kiss Me Through the Phone, Soulja Boy.
Oh, that was a good song.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know who Mario can really bring out.
Gucci Mane.
Yeah, I guess maybe Gucci, but I feel like Omarion probably bring Bow Wow out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Omarion, can he bring out Rick Ross? Wasn't he on that whole?
He was on MMG for a little bit.
Yeah, with Wale and all that.
Yeah, he was on
So, and then on top of that, you know,
he bring out Chris Brown from Supposed to Be.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. He can bring out Chris Brown, and that's a big hit. You know, if you're gonna go against someone in the verse, it's supposed to be.
Mario's got some joints though. He came out with this Mars EP about 2 years ago. It's a joint on there, Pretty Mouth Magic. That's a banger.
Pretty Mouth
Magic.
Pretty
Mouth Magic. Talking about it. Obviously you can imagine what he's talking about.
I figure out. Yeah.
It's a banger though. It's a banger.
Yeah.
It's a banger. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna watch this. You know. But you saying you got Omarion taking the W.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to
Omarion's a better dancer.
Omarion overall. He can, like, I think Omarion knew his place to not say. Even though they said he wanted to try Chris Brown, I think some people, like, brought him back to earth real quick, you know, and said, just try Mario. Because I honestly thought, you know, Omarion would probably try to go against his, against Marcus Houston.
I thought that, too. I think a B2K versus Immature would be dope. Or
and then you got the lead singers to go against each other.
Right.
And I think Marcus Houston had about 2 albums. I remember he had MH. That was released back in, I want to say 2003 with That Girl. And Neo produced that.
Up in the Club. With
Joe Budden. Yeah. You know, Neo produced the song That Girl and was singing the background vocals on it.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, though. Neo done wrote a lot of hits out here for people, so I'm not surprised.
And Carrie Hilson, now when it comes to Omarion singles, Icebox was written and produced by Carrie Hilson.
Okay.
You know, so they both got a lot of singles, you know, that can literally go hit for hit. And Marcus Houston had another album out, and he also did another album with Immature. I never really got to do a deep dive into it.
No,
it was
Marcus
only
Houston got quite a few. I just pulled up his discography. He got MH in 03, Naked 05, Veteran 07, Mr. Houston 09, Mattress Music came out in 2010, Famous in 2013, and Me 2022. I guess that's a joint that's coming out. So.
Yeah, and Naked was a really popular song, so... The thing about it, I would say when it comes to Marcus Houston and Omarion, now Marcus Houston might end up getting that.
5 albums with Immature, so
he has more. It's just that Marcus Houston has more hits to select from.
You think so? Than Omarion?
The only reason I say that is because Omarion, all right, B2K came out 2000.
Right.
And Omarion, you know, he had a couple of singles and everything, but Marcus Houston, he's been out since what, 1991?
Right.
Hell, I mean, anyway, even on top of that, like thinking about just like how he was in Sister and everything, there's so much that Marcus Houston has that he can like pull out of his bank of just records, successes, features. There's so much he can pull from because he's had about his last project was in 2020, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He has about 30 years in the game. Omarion had about, it's 2022. B2K came out in 2000, so 22 years. But, yeah, it's just that Marcus Houston has so much longevity.
Yeah, I think that's... Marcus Houston, I don't know why, he hasn't really been as active recently. But, like, that video was dope.
I loved it,
The video was dope. He's a good performer, too. I've seen him on some of them Scream tours. I grew up going to all the Scream tours. Every summer growing up, I grew up wanting to be one of the girls that would be the leading lady on one of their videos. I used to be like, I want to be on the Marcus Houston's videos as one of his girlfriend, or J Boog from B2Ks or something. So. Man, if you really think about it too, right? Okay, so IMX Immature, they got signed to Chris Stokes, TUG.
Chris Stokes.
So from that, they said like I think Omarion and Marcus Houston grew up in the same church singing. All of them B2K members or whatever in the same church, so they were like the next ones to come up. They were in church together doing music. Like once Marcus Houston secured his deal and everything, it got popping. They went and grabbed them. So now you get B2K. And from B2K you get Janae Aiko.
Yeah.
You know, and Omarion's little brother, Orion is
had a song Take It Slow.
Janae Aiko's baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get. It's just like the tree of all the people that have come Out of that,
and
I've gone on to have
Janae Aiko has two older sisters. One is Mila J.
Yeah,
she made some solos, and she was in two groups, Dame 4 and TG4 for Time Girl 4, and a group called Girl with their oldest sister. I think her name's pronounced Mayoko. Okay. With another young lady, I forgot her name.
Was Seven Streeter in TG4? I know Seven Streeter came from a group too.
I think so.
I think she was in TG4.
Yeah. And then they said Seven Streeter ended up getting signed with Chris Brown because Chris Brown has some type of label he was making.
Well, CBE, that is his label. But he's she wrote a lot of stuff on. She came in around like the Fortune album time and wrote a lot of songs.
And she even featured on. She didn't feature. He featured on her song "Won't Stop."
Yeah, she's featured on quite a few songs on the Fortune album though too.
Okay.
And she sings a lot of background vocals and stuff for him. All right. Moving on, a little messy gossip out here in these streets. There's two A-list celebrities are back out here on the dating game. They split. Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner. Did you follow their relationship any of
Now, out of all of the Kardashian Jenner clan, I would say, Kendall and Kourtney, those are the two that are the most low-key. And so when it comes to, and then especially Kendall, actually, with her being a professional model, who does not just catalog, she's catalog, she's editorial, she's international. She's probably, out of all of them, the most bona fide in the modeling industry. She even was she even walked on a Victoria's Secret runway for one of the fashion shows. So the thing is Kendall, she's actually the one that, out of all of them, I'm not saying I don't respect any of them, but I have respect for them, but out of all of them, I respect Kendall the most. And
why is that?
And I would say Kendall mainly because she's the main person who's just focused on herself and her career.
Okay.
I understand why, I get that. I like how she's moving in way more silence than the rest of them are.
Wow.
She moves in a lot more silence. You don't hear her bashing people on the internet. You don't hear her going through all of these surgery transformations. you hear, She
does have natural body. She don't even wear, like, one of the pictures that I seen her, she usually got, like, baggy jeans on and stuff. Like, her thing's not, she's not really even trying to, like, market herself like that. Or really she doesn't, even though there were pictures of her with her body edited in all types of ways, it's the fact that she's the most low-key out of that clan. She's the most, she's just moving in silence, doing what she has to do. I haven't really watched, only seen about 2 episodes of Keeping with the Kardashians. And I remember the first episode I ever did see was, it was years ago, back when Kim was the one trying to get Kendall to be a model, because deep down, that's something that Kendall said that Kim wanted to do for herself. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the thing is just seeing how Kendall is more like, growing and progressing and just, focused on herself. That's what I like about her. And when it comes to her relationships, I only seen pictures of her with her boyfriend, but I never really heard anything that went on. I never heard any details.
Are you familiar with Devin Booker, shooting guard for the Phoenix Suns?
Oh, other than the pictures I seen with her and him, I'm not. I haven't kept up with basketball, but I have seen her with him.
He's the star player for the Phoenix Suns. They were in the NBA Finals last year. They lost to the Bucks. I was thinking that they were gonna be back in the finals this year. They had like the best record in the West, and then things just kind of fell apart. I think Chris Paul had hamstring issues and stuff. I don't know. Things just kind of fell apart for their team. So, and Golden State tightened things up, and they were the ones that ended up pulling through, coming to the Western Conference, and ended up winning the championship this year. But, yeah, I read something that said that, their whole thing, with the Kardashians and the Jenners and everything, that they have a real public life, this reality TV and all that. And, Devin Booker's more of a private person. He's trying to focus on being the best basketball player he could possibly be. Locking in. I'm sure he's trying to get another championship, get back to the finals. He's not with all the, the paparazzi, TMZ.
But you know what else? I think in a way that Kardashian-Jenner clan, I think they're, I'm not going to say slowing down, but I think they're just changing their male accessory. Because at first they were really deep into black men, but now it seems like, Khloe got rid of her BBL. She's slim now.
Oh, I never.
Yeah, she recently got rid of hers. Kim Kardashian, she slimmed down. She got rid of hers. I think it's more so a lot of them, they're trying to, I think there's a part of them that's trying to get back to connecting with whiteness, as well as like slimming down and fulfilling that, the aesthetic that is considered beautiful by European standards, especially since, Kim Kardashian, she's with a man who's white. What's his name? Pete Davidson.
Skeet Davidson.
Yes. And Kourtney, she's with I think was it Travis Baker?
Travis Barker.
Travis Barker.
From, Good Charlotte.
Yeah, Chloe. She's in a very she's in a relationship with Tristan, and he's she's in a relationship with him, but I don't think he's in a relationship with him. So I'm being honest. Kylie, I have no idea if Travis Scott, I don't know what they got going. But, I don't know if they on or if they
back
off.
on. They just had that baby, True, or whatever her name is.
No, True is Chloe's daughter.
Oh, okay.
They just had a son, I think.
I know they just had a baby recently. I thought they had another girl, but I know they had
I
don't follow the whole...
I don't follow them deeply enough because...
clan.
Yeah, because as a black woman, I think we shouldn't follow them too heavily. I don't think they need too much of our attention. We have to put our attention towards other... there are so many other black women.
Race thing? Like, you can't just be...
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, it is. Us as black women, we do need to make sure we stick together and focus on ourselves and make sure
what's some black women that you can look to then?
I say it depends on it depends on you, the person. Like, for example, I like media. I enjoy watching women who are in a field that's similar to mine. So one person that I've always watched since I was 17 years old was Vashti Kola. She is a director. She is a model. She is a DJ. She is she's just everything. She directed Pharrell, Kanye, and Lupe's video Us Placers. She also dated Pharrell Williams as well. Us Placers.
That's a song?
Yeah, Kanye, Lupe, and Pharrell, Us Placers back in 07.
Is that a Pharrell song or a Lupe song?
It's all three of them. Lifestyles of the Rich.
That's got to be on somebody's album, though, right? Whose album?
I can't think of whose album.
Okay, yeah, I never heard of it. Maybe I have heard it. That's a throwback.
Ty, you definitely heard of it. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Bought a big house and a whole lot of ranges.
Not ringing the bell.
Kanye, Lifestyles of the Broken Famous. Let you know how crazy this game is. Look at all the new beautiful faces. Actor, supermodel, MySpace. No.
I gotta go back and listen.
Okay, so yeah, Vashti, she's someone whose Instagram I'm always following. I think it depends. If you're into modeling, follow more models like you. If you're interested in media, follow more people in media like you. If you're a nurse, follow more black women that are nurses. And when it comes to like all of the social life, I understand black women wanting to follow Lori Harvey. I understand black women wanting to even
Don't follow Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey for the streets.
She dates. She dates with a dominant mindset and not a lowly mindset.
Lori Harvey needs to be stopped effective immediately. But okay.
Honestly, I'd rather black women follow Black China before they follow the Kardashians. Because why are we put? Because what happened?
She's an affiliate. I don't know.
Because what?
Black China's affiliate. She
just got into it with the law with them. They
Right.
just took her to court.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that there's so much money in the black dollar. There's so much money where our attention goes. We are giving these women who haven't done anything to improve the conditions for the black community all of this attention. If we're gonna just give away free attention, free money, free everything, let's pour back into someone who at least looks like us. If they're not gonna do something, at least it was somebody that looks like you. I know it might sound a little harsh, but yeah.
That's a tough take.
If we're gonna have to do that, we might as well do it for each other if we're gonna give somebody free attention and free publicity and all of this. Might as well let it be another black person.
Wow.
Instead of somebody who's getting black men basically sucking their life force out, throwing these guys away, having these guys kids, and then not doing anything. Yeah.
Okay, you're not wrong. That's your opinion. So, well, Chris Brown album out at midnight. It's 10th studio album, Breezy. I will be streaming this like crazy. I will be up all night with this on blast. I'm gonna give a light review of this tomorrow, but I'm definitely gonna have to sit with this for a minute. But I'm always excited when Chris Brown albums drop. So looking forward to this. And You're Not Wrong podcast.
I'm Avi J. Follow me on Instagram _AVIJ_.
I'm Ty Won. Follow me on Instagram at Ty Won Official, Twitter at Ty Won Official, my website TyWonMusic.com. Until next time,
we out.
Holla.
Thanks for rocking with us, Instagram Live.